Hello.
Okay, welcome everyone. Once again, we are here with one more installment in our podcast series. And today we have a special guest with us, Vijay. Vijay is a senior software developer at Hyperflex, and he's been in the industry for 6 years now. So we will talk to him. He will walk us through his journey. Recently, he has built an amazing tool. So we'll get to know how he's where he started from and how he get this great. So before we move forward, I would like to first introduce me and my co-host Dhruvi. So I am Parivesh. I am Elastic consultant and Elastic engineer at Hyperflex. Dhruvi, over to you.
Yep. Hello, everyone. I am Dhruvi, and I'm also an Elastic certified engineer, and I do consulting as well. Thank you for that, Parivesh.
And now, Vijay, we would like you to introduce us to us as well as to our audience. And
Uh,
yeah, over to you.
okay. So my name is Vijay, and I'm working as a senior software engineer for Hyperflex from about 2 years as of now. And I'm majorly working on the tool that you are discussing here, like for the seamless process of Elastic upgrade.
Mhm.
Okay. So before we go to the tool, as we all are engineers, so for the fun bit, I would like you to share us what was your first line of code. Like I know for most of us it's hello world, but in the industry, what was your first experience with coding? And we all will share ours so that it will
Mhm.
be helpful for actually this question is actually for the engineers who aspiring engineers who are right now in learning phase and this corporate and is very different for the learning
Yeah.
part the college. So yeah, over to you. What was your first experience with coding when you got into the corporate or into the engineering world?
Okay, so I think that was in back in my school days when I first come to know that mobile have something else like softwares, because I have used to have a device that is something QWERTY keypad phones that got
Mhm.
software issues, and I thought there is something issue with hardware. Then I give it to a mobile repair shop, but there is no hardware issue. There is only issue that the software is not working. Then it took me like around 6 to 7 months at that time to get to know like how to get it fixed, and slowly I come to know like how to connect that phone into with computer and fix it with the proper installing of the right software to that phone, and it got fixed. Then I decided that I want to do engineering, and specifically the software engineering, because before that I used to have interest in electronics, and I from my childhood like I want to be an electric engineer. But from that point when I come to know that phone have software and I got interest in that, then I started searching about it, like how to do, like how to build software and those things. Even I started with HTML and CSS, that is completely like we even can't build 2 plus 2 with those things, but I spent around 6 to 7 months with playing with just HTML and CSS and building some sort of animation with playing CSS. And I was feeling myself like a cool, I can do anything with those things. But when I come to know to the truth that I can't even do 2 plus 2 with those things, then I come to know about Java and JavaScript and started exploring them, like how to code it. All I do those things is on my Android phone. I don't even have a laptop at that time. So it was like fun because I used to build even like calculators and some simple application that we can build on a simple uh, Android application. And I used to use a solo learn application that was available on Play Store at that time. Even it's was available as of now as well, and it was quite good to for beginning when we like to teach of them like even how to write a simple hello world and all those things. Then I joined college for in computer engineering, and even from my first year, I started used to do a lot of coding and build application that I used to get. If any even any problem that I used to face, we started building application in that at that time. We built a lot of even Android application and published them. And in my second year of application, we have a subject called electronics, At that time, when we come to know a problem like Carnot map, if you have ever used it, like it is for um, our logical expression that we build for and or
Right.
gates that used to
Yeah.
have. So I built an application for that, and it again took me around 7 to 8 months. And even my friends that are doing engineering with me are suppose like it's not possible to build that like kind of solution, but I spent a lot of time on that, and it's published on Play Store right now and had more than 50,000 of downloads. And even user reviews, like I have around more than 200 reviews and have a rating of around 4.6 as of now. So it keep me motivated as well, and used to build a new application as well. Like I built also an application for sharing file similar to Zender that we used to have.
Hmm.
Then
Yeah.
similarly, like a lot of projects I have built that right now I have dropped or not working on them. But yeah, then after I completed my graduation, I joined Consultate, which also own the Hyperflex for which we are doing this podcast. So I joined Consultate as an intern, then got full time and working as a Java developer. Worked on multiple projects, like one is based on pension and insurance application, and there was my role was like to just be as a Java developer, but the team was also using Elasticsearch for their searching implementation, because in pension we want like a fast searching and they are using Elasticsearch. But I'm the developer side. I just used to call those API, but I don't care like how the cluster is building, how they are managing nodes. That is something the Elastic team is managing. And I but at that point I was aware of like what exactly Elastic is. And then I worked on other project as well. Then last year, Ayush came to me, which is the VP of Hyperflex, and want me to join the product team of Hyperflex to build the tool that we have, that we want to build for to make the process of upgrade easy. So I was started working on that, but at that point I was completely new to Elastic, like how to do this thing, like how to create even a cluster, because it's too hard to create a cluster and bring those nodes into a single cluster itself. It's really hard. And it took me like 3 to 4 months to completely get understanding, to get my hands on. But we started building the tool even before I was, have complete understanding of how Elastic works. But it helps us as well, because I used to do upgrade without like doing sort of pre-checks and looking at the breaking changes we need to, and it broke the cluster. Then we again rebuild the cluster from the start. So yes, that is something like the journey from of me from the very beginning of like writing the hello world to here, like to build a production ready seamless upgrade tool which we have right now. It's
Amazing,
yeah,
amazing.
over to you.
Dhruvi, do you want to share your first experience with uh, engineering and coding? I know we shared a common ground, but yeah.
Yeah, no, of course, but I think everybody listening to Vijay's story would be really inspired by now. I mean, this has been amazing from
Yeah.
having that mindset of looking inside some software. And then, so if I talk about mine, so I was never somebody who wanted to do engineering as a first career choice. So, I mean, don't cancel me for that, but yeah, that's true. So, I was more a person who was inclined towards science and how the things work, physical or applied science, I would say. So I
Mhm.
wanted to work with astrophysics because that was something that was some really excited me. Call me nerdy, but I used to read books about it. I used to listen to, I mean, at that time, we had to view channels, and then you have to get the subscription of channel, and the HBO and all the English television channels wasn't available at that time. So I used to argue with my father to get that for me, and then that's what I used to do. But again, things happen, life happened. My 11th, 12th was not that good in terms of everything. So I was left with no choice but to do engineering. And then when I started doing that, I think, like Vijay said, it's fun. When you do it, you realize that it is fun. Of course, the hello world was not the fun part, but once you do something and you see the result, you see the thing actually working, it gives you a sense of achievement right? And I think that is something drove me for over this journey of completing the engineering was a journey in itself, and then of course getting a job and then working at that job. So yeah, and like you, Vijay, of course, I started as a Java developer and I was an intern, and then later I was get got like a post placement offer with consultant, and then I later transitioned to Hyperflex. But yeah, that's how it went. And if I talk about Elastic, I mean that is also an amazing story because when I got a chance to work at Consultat initially, there was this team, Elastic team, and I had no clue about what it does. I mean, I have never even heard a word what it is, what it does. And then there was a call like, who all are interested in Elastic? And I was like, okay, this is something new, looks fascinating. Let's give it a shot. If it works, it works. If not, there's no harm, right? So I went ahead, I gave my name, and yeah, I mean, we started learning it. It is like a sea. You get inside, and then there is a lot of stuff, and then it doesn't feel like coming out of that now. It's amazing. It's fun. There is every day there is something new to learn, to grow, and yeah, that's about me.
Amazing. For me, again, it was kind of pretty similar. Like Vijay, I wanted to be a mobile developer when I was thinking about doing it as a career. I love to use phone. That's where I start. I love to
I think
use
that's all
smartphone.
about this generation.
Yeah.
I know.
I love to use my phone. So there was so many cool apps. I think, and I thought how these apps have got built. And I said, okay, there's a particular career, mobile developer. But then I got pranked actually. So I guess I think you guys remember there was a prank when somebody goes to a Google Chrome Wikipedia page and then just change its HTML and CSS without rolling in.
Uh-huh.
It's like it's a Wikipedia page for them. So I
Right.
got pranked like this, and I said, okay,
Oh my
there,
God.
for like that, I got introduced to web. And then
Mhm.
I in the college, I was like, okay, let's become a web developer. Web was booming at that time. Um, but destiny has a different path for me. I started as a observability and DevOps engineer when I got into the in the industry again with Consulted, and then I got introduced to Elastic. So, yeah, but as you Dhruvi, you said, it was not a bad thing to happen. It's kind
Yeah.
of a great
Good.
journey.
It's good.
It's good. We are glad that it happened.
Yeah.
So now to that, Vijay, as you already shared that how you got introduced to Elastic, and to add to your point, that thing that you said that you started building the tool before
Mhm.
even you know Elastic, pretty much, it's actually very good so that you have created the product in that way that it will be very easy for someone to use who
Yeah,
even have a idea of Elastic. So can you share a little bit more about what actually the product is, what it
sure.
do, and just like a little bit the journey. I want to also cover you the how you actually your experiences while creating the so
Sure,
that our
definitely.
audience know that it's not actually the final product every time. There are so many what you can say damaged code
Great points.
that don't break broken code that don't work,
Good,
and
yeah.
how it end up in here.
Yeah, so as I said that I work with Elastic in one of my project, but just like querying the database, but not dealing with the node and dealing with the version upgrades and anything else. So I was just we got an index, we used to insert data and read data by performing some sort of DSL. But when I started working on the tool that I just come to me and ask me to build, we want to build a tool for making the process of Elastic to seamless upgrade. At that point I was thinking like why they need a tool like upgrading Elastic would be easy, just go to the Linux and just run apt install to run the whatever the version they want. But when I did it on the cluster it broke because there are a lot of things that we need to take care before we do such things. Like if you are on version 7, if you think to jump directly to the latest version, it will broke, you lose all the data, and
Yeah.
there is like we need to think each and every step. So I broke a lot of cluster in last 1 year. Even now, in we used to have like a development environment. and my team built cluster, and I broke a lot of cluster just because we need to do some sort of pre-checking and need to aware of like what are the breaking changes. If I go from this version to this version, there
Mm-hmm.
is losing incompatibilities as well that
Right.
we need to take care of. There are a lot of check that we need to resolve even before we think of like upgrading. So that's how like I faced the problem, and I we started building this tool around it to make the whole process like to be easy. And like if you do this research, like if your cluster or whatever the version right now it is running on, maybe it's running on 7 or 8, and if you try to like jump on version 8 or 9, then you need to do a lot of research, and it will take a significant amount of time. Because let's say if your cluster has 1,000 indexes and you want just need to check a single uh, scenario that whether all the indexes are compatible with the target leucine version, it will you need to do same work for all 1,000 indexes. Just imagine how much time it will take for you. But
Yeah.
if you do with this tool, it's just like a click. Like you click it, it will take around a minute, and it will bring the result of all the indexes and mark them like whether they are compatible or not. And so that's how it works. And imagine if you need to do hundreds of check on your cluster, how much time it will take. It may
Yeah.
take weeks or even months. So just do the pre-check, and the actual upgrade will be another story that you need to again understand. Because even when it comes to upgrading the cluster, there are a lot of things we need to take care as well. So let's say you done with the pre-checks, everything is looks good, and now you started with the upgrade, but upgrade is not an easy as well. You need to decide which node get first upgraded, because each node in Elastic has its own role. That if a data role could be a master, could be ingest, and even we have ML node with the newer Elastic version. So we need to even follow a certain version for, I mean, a certain order to upgrade those node to make sure our cluster is stable. So even that is so all this problem that the end user or whoever trying to upgrade their cluster need to do manually is something they can just do in clicks. Or even like let's say you started the process that I want to go from this version to this version in the tool, and even if you go to cafeteria and grab your coffee, it the report will be ready. You don't need to do anything else. So it will check the CPU utilization, disk utilization, losing check, and all checks that you even can't think of. All will be out of the box, get ready in a report, and you can even export it for sharing with your team. So that's how we build this tool to make the whole process easy. And if I talk about the upgrade, it's also easy. You don't need to like do into SSH, find all the IP of instance running the Elastic nodes and do like upgrade one by one. Because even in the upgrade, there are a lot of steps that we need to do manually. So that can be also get automated. So you just click on the upgrade all and just see everything is happening. You don't need to do anything else. So that's how like the idea of the building tool, we build it step by step.
Yeah, and I mean, listening whatever you just explained about the tool, I think I completely resonate because the client that I am working on has
Mm-hmm.
this big major issue of upgrading the clients. So basically, the problem that we are currently dealing with is we want to migrate. So Elasticsearch has an end of life, right? If you guys are aware.
Yeah,
So after 7.10 version, AWS does not support Elastic because of the licensing change.
agree.
So for that, what we wanted to do is because most of our clusters are managed on AWS, so we decided to go forward with OpenSearch. But in order to achieve that as well, we need our cluster to be on 7.10. Currently, all the cluster we have are on 6.x version. Now, when we were in the process of upgrading those cluster, I mean, I know the lot amount of work that it requires. So we have
Yeah.
around, I mean, for one client, if I talk, right? So we have around 12,000 shards, and now that needs to be upgraded. So the amount of pre-checks, amount of work, and then the downtime, and then the customers, they go crazy. Even if you are like a minute ahead of, like you said, like there will be a 2 hours window, and if you take 2 hours and a
Yeah.
minute, they go crazy. So I mean, I would really, really uh, want your inputs, like how that you felt that this is a problem and this is a worldwide problem. I'm sure that everybody might using elastic might have faced it. So how did you thought from an idea perspective, like this is a challenge and let's solve it? And how was that process of brainstorming around the product itself first?
Okay, so as I said that at the time I started working on this tool, I even don't know the problem. So Bhavesh, the CTO of this company, asked me and so explain me this problem. But at that point, I was completely blank, like what exactly this problem is. But when
Yeah,
I got an access to a cluster and tried to upgrade it manually, I have broke a lot of cluster, as I said. So that's how it began. Because even if you miss any pre-check that needs to be
right.
done and resolved before upgrading, it will broke your cluster.
Yeah,
And there is no way, like at that point, there will be a lot of downtime. It's
yeah,
better that we do
exactly.
all those pre-checks. And
Right.
if you are new to Elastic upgrade, you don't know like what sort of pre-checks you need to do,
Yeah,
because that is an also a problem, because not every developer upgrade a cluster each and every day. Even
true.
I have upgraded like 100 more than 100 times a cluster this year itself. So I know like there are a lot of pre-check that we need to do, and all those pre-checks are something we have consolidated into a single tool. So it will definitely help. Like the end user will not need to do the same work again and again, and it is already automated in a single tool. So I will really ask like the whoever trying to upgrade, just use the tool to make it easy, at least for the pre-check part.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. For me, like I can relate to the story because like as a consultant, I have worked with a lot of clients who are trying to upgrade, right? And to share one time, and even every time, so we go like this dev stage and prod. No matter how much we have, like how much effort we have put in for dev and stage, when we are going to upgrade the prod cluster, our heartbeats will go like
Oh my God.
crazy because we cannot afford a downtime in
Of
prod.
course.
Cannot afford.
Yeah.
No, because if there even for there's like for minutes, client will grow crazy user
They'll
and they
blow
will
your
be,
phone.
and yeah, and your inbox will be like flooded with mails. Okay, we haven't you tested it with lot? And so many times it was like it breaks because of the thing you cannot even imagine. So for
Yeah.
one time it was of a dependency on, like you are saying, Lucent dependency. It was a Java dependency, and it got broke, and we were like, we done all the pre-checks, right? But the thing is like,
Yeah,
because so the thing that because breaking, as you said, and I was like, I've said this before, but I know because you said you have upgraded it 100 times. In a you have 100 times upgrade, and okay, if this breaks, add it to your product. If this breaks, add it to the product. So right now, I am also looking
yeah,
forward to use that tool because
Yeah.
now I can
Exactly.
be it will give a lot of peace to the engineer who is upgrading, definitely. So
yeah.
kudos to that. Now I have a question for you. So to you, and
Mhm.
I want your developer instinct to not overshadow your answer. It's like, so what you think? Using a tool is fun or creating a tool is more fun? What do you think?
Creating the tool is more fun, I would say, because I got to know like when you do the upgrade the manually and the cluster breaks, it will increase your heartbeat. So that is another fun. But if you use the tool, it will be peace of mind. You can enjoy your day. Otherwise, if you like to ruin your weekend, just do it manually, because there will be something you will miss and it will broke your production.
True.
Yeah, true, true. Yep.
Right.
And
But definitely you've been encountered. I mean, there would be so many stories. I mean, apart from all this tech work, I'm sure there would be many stories around how you guys collaborated, how you guys used to have fun, all these sessions, or do you have any fun story to share about all this journey of create from an idea to creating a tool, how it was? Also, since Ayush is involved in this, he's the VP of this,
Mhm.
and then of course our CTO is also involved in this product. How it was working with them, being a developer and working with, of course, the leadership. How it was for you?
So okay, so like building the tool is already always a fun,
Mm-hmm.
because I was working with Java and like enjoying, because it's a new tech. So there is a lot of learning I have to.
Agree.
because I have to learn Elastic as well in deep, like not just calling REST API and doing the search, but
Yeah.
in the root, like how actually it works, how all the node work together and do the searching and all those things. So starting when we started the tool, we are just like using Ansible, which is kind of like running script to just upgrade, but that fails because uh, having an Ansible playbook which have a kind of static flow to upgrade a cluster, that's not work with different dynamic cluster, because our tool need to support different kind of clusters. So even that tool fails hundred of times. Even we redesign the tool multiple times, and what we have is like after the 6 months, we rebuild the whole tool from scratch with the learning of we have in the 6 month from January to June. Then
Yeah.
we build the tool from ground up to support all the functionality, pre-checks, upgrade, even dynamic flow. Because let's say you are upgrading ML node versus a data node, there is a kind of little bit flow difference, because in case of ML node, you also need to make sure that you stop all the machine learning jobs before you proceed to the upgrade. So
Right.
there are a lot of small things that we can forget if we don't take or do the proper research.
Right. Yeah. And how was it working with the other folks, the leadership, as I mentioned, Bhavesh and Ayush and everybody else?
So for them, it's
Was
like
it fun?
they really like the tool now, because we have also demoing it with Elastic, if you already know, and
Yeah.
we upgraded from version 7 to version 9 in just within a month. So it's
Oh,
not an easy task. Like,
yeah.
and even the cluster is big. We created a cluster of about 10 to 12 node,
Mm-hmm.
and with real-time ingestion, and we easily upgraded. Like even we only used to have 1 or 2 hours of dedicated time to do the upgrade, and in 1 month, like how much, it's about 10 to 12 hour, and we upgraded from 7 to version 9. So it's not like simple work that we have done with the tool.
Yep.
Right.
So I have a question, and I would like you to, uh, sum it up this as a process because of the other engineer. So you said you had a plan and you worked on this for 6 months, and then you said, okay, with we cannot go further with, then you reiterate and started
Yeah,
from the scratch. So this iterative approach is very important in terms of engineering, right? So
right.
I would like to go more on that, like how you approach this. Okay, because we know whatever work we have put, we sometimes very emotional about the work we have done, like for 6 months effort,
Yeah,
and now okay, it's all going into well, let's restart from. So just dumping your own work, start from, restart from the scratch, and how this mindset works uh, uh, of you
definitely.
when you go like this.
Okay, so like if you are like as an engineer, like if you want to build a software, you first need to understand the problem in very like you need to know like what exactly the problem and what are the different entities that you need to deal with. But at the moment in the very like January when we started building the tool, I was not even aware of each and every entities that we might need to consider in our tool, and
Mhm.
we are like started building it, but it there was a peak point when we come to know that we can't. Add new features, because when we are adding this feature, something else is broken. So there are a lot of like messed up code, because there was no proper structure it has anymore. So everything was like scattered here and there. Each service is doing a lot of thing. We don't have proper pre-check frameworks. So that's when we decided to rebuild the tool. We have now proper module for pre-check as well. So because we keep it in a design that there will be a lot of pre-checks will be coming soon as well, because right now the tool has a lot of pre-check, but it's not enough. We have a room for new pre-checks as well. So if a new developer comes and want to add a pre-check, so we think of each and every scenario, like we build the tool open source. So even if someone want to contribute and add a feature, so we want to make sure that all this process will be easy as well as for the developer. So let's say if you want to contribute a new pre-check that you have fetched, so I don't
Hmm.
want you to go through each and every class in the code. All you need to do is just create a single class and do the logic in that one, and everything will be taken care by the tool itself. So that's how we decided to build it as a framework, because initially when we are building it, it was kind of a library where we are calling each and every pre-check manually.
Hmm.
So That's why my thought to make it as a framework rather than a tool like which was initially built on the principles of like library where we call the each and every code that we are defining. But now you create a pre-check and just put it in the framework. Then the tool itself will take care of like, oh, now we have a new pre-check. It will take care of running it. You don't need to tell it like how to run that pre-check. But yeah, as you also said that dropping a product is also painful work because in June we restarted from zero and it took around 1 month to get at the point where we are already like the progress that we have done in 6 months. We already spent 1 month to just get to there. But it was a good decision because now it is more stable and we have even more pre-checks at that now rather than back in June.
Yep. And like you have been in the industry for a very long time now, and I'm not asking about like this particular product, but you have built a various number of products. So, if you can line up like 4 to 5 best practices for the other developers out there when they have this idea of creating some products, and so what do you think from your experiences like this that okay, if you follow keep these
One,
things in mind so that you will end up creating something great like you have done.
so I would say like to first know the problem, or even I would say if you don't know the problem, face the problem. Just like I did, but I was doing it parallelly with building the tool. So I faced the problem like I also upgraded the cluster, broke a lot of clusters. So it gives me like how it was broken, and I know like so what sort of pre-check I need to do. So it's like all about facing the problem first, so you know like how to solve it in a better way. And once you know the problem, then I think it's come to like bringing or building a tool around it. So you decide like what are the different entities that you need to take care of. And the process, like if in talk about elastic, there is a cluster builds of node, and node can be like there will be indexes. So we decided that there will be three different kind of pre-checks, so like cluster level, node level, and index level as well, because indexes have different lucines. So let's say if you created index in version 7, you upgraded to version 8, everything works fine. And when you decided to go version 8, version 9, you need to take care of the lucines that was used to create the index in version 7. Because
Hmm.
if you ignore that thing, it will make the cluster 9 unhappy, and it will not even allow you to restart those node. So once you know the problem, we then created the like high level view of like what how to solve this problem. We have different modules like pre-check framework, the upgrade framework, and then we uh, created each and every step. Like even upgrade can be failed by tool as well. So we have checkpointing as well to make sure that we can resume from the same point where we left. So I think yeah, that's all I like about the tool and how I
Mm.
approach to the problem.
So it's more
The,
like
but the
how.
main thing is like to face the problem.
Yeah, so it's like the more better you understand the problem, the better your journey of
Solution will
coding
be.
it will be. Yep. I have one more question, and it's like for my community of DevOps and the engineers who actually are using the tool once it got created. And it's kind of a pain point for us when there's no clear error message when something broke. So
Yeah.
for me, it's like always like whenever I using a tool and it's working fine, then something break, and then I go and seeing the logs and error messages, and I need to spend a lot of time finding the exact thing because of which it broke, because I know there's like the handling thread handling, because it goes in a recursive way, and each
Hmm.
time an error is logged. But uh, I'm just asking it from my community how why it is so hard to give a clear message to people like us. Okay, because of this it is broken, and just go and do fix it instead of just rambling our head around it. Okay, why it it got broke. Over to you.
To Dhruvi, right?
No, to you, Vijay. Actually, it's kind of from the community of DevOps to the community of developers. It's a
I'm sorry, I
request
didn't
to,
get your
it's a
question.
request okay, yeah. So I'll re-ask my question. So it's like it's a request that whenever you guys create some amazing tools that actually help us in our day-to-day life, but the error message are not that clear when something broke. So
Don't worry about
why
that.
it is,
We
yeah.
have make sure like to give readable name to or
Yeah.
readable or proper error messaging to each and every error that our tools throw.
Yeah, yeah, that's
And
nice.
even we have in real time, so you don't like you are sitting on keeping the tool open, and when you refresh, it will come. It will go give it you in real time. So once the
Wow.
cluster, if there is something goes wrong, it will give you error in real time. So you can start working on it promptly rather than
Yeah.
waiting for the other team or the client to send the started sending you emails that your cluster is broken. So
Yeah.
each and everything will be taken care by tool itself. Even when you started the upgrading, we have some checks like high availability. So we analyze the cluster whether that cluster is available for high availability. Because if there is, let's say, only one master node in a cluster, then there
Mhm.
will be one point when the cluster is not available for a point of time when until the master node got updated. So
Right.
we know about this thing will happen. So we can even like tell the client that this will happen because of your cluster.
Right.
So we have think of that as well and added pre-checks for that.
Yeah, that's nice to hear. And it's
Amazing.
like for the all the developer community, it's a humble request from the DevOps and all guys communities that please do include a very clear error messages because it
Proper
will
error
save a lot
messaging.
of lot of time for us. And yeah, it will be very nice for us as well. So yeah.
But again, with the error message, that also comes a sense of achievement when you finally figure out, oh, that was a problem. I
It
mean,
was
something
simple.
that you
Yeah.
would neglect from the
After
very
hovering hours,
beginning.
then we feel to know that, oh, it was very simple.
Exactly.
Every time
And it feels like banging your head on a wall. Like, oh my God, it's that. It was in front of my eyes for a really long time, and how can I be so blind? I cannot
yep.
see it coming.
Exactly. It always you whenever something broke, you think of something very major, and
Yeah. It
after
turns
like
out to be something like
yeah, after
really.
it's kind of a minor thing. After and
Yeah.
you have spent
Yeah,
like hours and sip a lot of like coffee and all, and you think, okay, yeah, it was already there.
So something again to give an example. So I'm also working on the performance testing of some of my clusters, and I'm using ESReally for benchmarking, right? So when I initially started with all this process of benchmarking and everything, I was all pumped and like, wow. So this was the very first time I would say I was using ESReally, right? So I was really excited, like, wow, learning something new and all. And I ran it on my cluster and it kept failing. So, like, for 3 hours straight, it kept failing. I tried everything from my knowledge, from Google's knowledge, from what GPT could find. Nothing was able to solve it. In the end, it turns out to be it was not working because of the firewall the system had.
great.
I was like, oh my God.
So sometimes
Like,
you it's kind of a pre-check. So sometimes when you try
yeah,
to use a product, it's like so it happened to me every time. So like in the start. So right now so now it's kind of best practice for us. So whenever we have
yeah,
to run some practice, we just go to network guys. Okay, first of all,
yeah,
clear all the network for us.
exactly.
We let them know our plan. Okay, we're going to do this, and just let us know. If after 1 or 2 days you come to us, okay, it's not allowed in
Yeah,
our network. No, please let us know upfront so that we
right.
won't waste our
We won't
time.
waste our efforts at
Yeah,
least. Agreed. Hmm. I mean, everybody is sailing in the same boat that I would say.
Yeah, it's
yeah.
all.
Every day there is something new, something unexpected popping up your window.
And I think it's the fun part of the journey, right? If you know everything, it will be boring.
Yeah.
So you stuck somewhere, then for that time when you're trying to figure out, you are like, why am I doing this? Okay.
All
Uh
the
wi-
existential
yeah,
crisis coming your way.
exactly. But once you solved it, you feel like a god. Okay.
Yeah.
For this moment, for this particular very moment, I am the best engineer out there. It comes like that.
And
So
next day
it's
you
kind
broke
of
the cluster again.
yeah. Until and unless you broke it again. Perfectly. So yeah, amazing, amazing. So one more thing which I like again, I mean just to it's kind of
Mhm.
off track what we were discussing, but it's kind of a right thing to talk about when an engineer with your kind of experience is with us. So there's a lot of hype around like AI, right? It's
Mhm.
like and so many people out there are actually, I'm not sure why they are trying to create this havoc in terms of the budding engineers. Right, it's gonna replace or something like that, and they use this word of affecting. So how AI is affecting the development. I want to put it in the right word, and I would like to ask you that how actually AI is changing, or you can say accelerating the journey of a developer once you have this kind of tools, AI tools with you right now. So yeah, because
Okay, so
you have been there in the.
I don't think like anytime soon like AI can completely replace uh, replace us, but it's like we just need to know like how can we use AI to make it a part of daily life. Like even I used to have it as an intern working with me. So I if I the task that I don't want to do and it's just simple, I ask to AI to do this for me, and I use those codes like even boilerplate codes or some sort of like templates that we used to have. Let's say you want to create a simple Spring Boot application and you need a configuration for JDBC. You can do it manually, but why don't you spend so much time? Just tell AI or GPT to do it for me, and you can just verify it's correct or not. So we can do like even I have when, as I said, that initially in the 6 months we built the tool and it got broke. So we have a lot of paycheck there as well. But now we want to migrate those to the new framework that I have built. So I have not done those all those migration manually. I told AI this was the old approach, this is the new approach. You and ask AI to do those work for me. So in this way, like I saved my a lot of time and even make the process of creating the tool from zero, like again from zero, and it got completed within a month. So this is all about like just because of AI. If I don't use AI at that point, it might take me 2 or 3 months to just do the same work again. So I
Right.
think it's all about like trying use utilizing the AI in our day-to-day life in a right way.
Yeah, and it actually accelerate
Because
the
I
process.
think like completely depending on AI to build our tool, it will don't know like how
Yeah.
to. It can generate codes, but in long run, it will be hard to manage those applications.
So
So
it's just like you cannot like push your intern's code directly to the production without even reviewing it. It's the
yeah,
same thing.
so you
It's
need to be like on the driving seat. You just ask them like what he
yeah,
can do it for you, but you need to make sure that everything is aligned with your design.
right. So it's definitely not replacing people. It's just making us more
For
equipped
me,
and
I don't
efficient.
think it will.
Yeah, it's just
And I
making it
think
like instead of walking, it's giving us a bike to travel from
Yeah.
one place to another.
And I don't even think that the goal was ever to replace the engineer.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
always to help them.
Yeah,
It's to accelerate
Yeah.
your
of course.
process. Yeah, to
Yeah.
you have every now because it's a liberty to have a personal intern, just for you.
Yeah.
Then it's
Agree.
kind of it's not an intern for the team, it's for you.
Yeah.
So it's an amazing thing to
Yeah.
have.
And
Don't get.
definitely it comes in very handy when writing an email. I mean, that's the most relief I had.
Yeah,
You just don't
it's
need to do anything.
for
Even you are
emails.
angry on your manager and want to write a polite message.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just write in angry letters and tell ChatGPT to make it professional and polite.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the go-to prompt. Like, please make it more professional and polite. Because now, because once I see how AI frames the email, I think myself as a very rude person. So
Yeah.
now I have this doubt.
Exactly.
Okay, okay, if I go ahead and write the mail, definitely I will do something. It's not very polite because he make me think myself as a very rude person. AI is so polite.
He's
It's
so
very
polite.
polite.
I mean, I
Yeah,
literally
agree.
gave a prompt once to say, like, bro, how do I tell my manager that that's not possible, but in a polite way? Yeah, but it's crazy. I mean, the way it's growing, the way it is helping, the way it is evolving, it's amazing.
Yep. And even like because like if we are talking about elastic, so with the AI era, elastic is also like drastically changing. So
Yeah,
if you see the newer version, so
yeah,
and because it always been some major thing when a major version releases, but this time when the version 9 came, uh, the pure focus was on the AI things, and it's
Major's major.
doing, yeah, yeah, and it's kind of it, and they are doing a very very good job
Yeah,
while doing it.
agreed.
So and yeah, and because like Vijay, your tool will be in a lot of use because now
Definitely.
everybody wants to go to
Even
nights.
we have a plan to bring AI in our tool. We have
Wow.
a beta branch where we have
Uh-huh.
a kind of assistant in the tool itself. So
Mm-hmm.
let's say you have a lot of breaking changes list in your report, and you want to ask like whether those breaking changes are applicable for me. You can just open the chat box and ask for like whether am I affected with this breaking change. It will have the access to the cluster and some tools. It
Mm-hmm.
can ask check whether let's say uh, some setting like the semantics text. I think there is something a field that got deprecated, semantic text or something like that. So that was breaking changes, and I want to ensure that whether I'm affected with this or not. So I open the assistant, I ask, am I affected with this?
Mm-hmm.
The ChatGPT internally created some calls and verify the cluster and ensured me that you are not affected with this thing. But that's still in beta. But yeah, our tool also have a roadmap for AI tool.
Yeah, that
That
will be
would be great.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like if you can again, it will speed up the process. Like Dhruvi was
Yeah,
sharing 12,000 charts, and
Yeah,
if you have so many index, and with one prompt, if my AI assistant can go and check
exactly.
whether I am affecting by this breaking changes, am I using this setting, or am I using this plugin which got
agree.
deprecated? So it will definitely be speeding up the process, and we can enjoy one more cup of coffee.
So I do have a similar tool in working. So I mean, I just know of that. So I'm not sure if you guys have heard about Amazon Q. So it's something really similar. So my client uses it, so I'm aware of that, the fact. So I mean, it's really handy. It's amazing when it comes to as in developer and the coding stuff, right? So you can just open in your terminal and you can just do Amazon Q chat, and then you can ask like whatever is wrong with my code and whatever needs to be done. It has all the access. I mean, of course, you need to give the trust always access to the queue, and it just goes into your code. It can find any API that is not working, any call that might malfunction at some point, any test cases that you want to add. It just seamlessly integrates with your code. But of course, given that you need to have the license for queue. But yeah, again, whatever Vijay is sharing about the code, if that happens, I think major of the problem is solved now. You don't even need to bother about a single thing while upgrading the cluster.
Yep,
Yeah,
and I think the first thing that where most of us use the AI is to understand the code,
Mhm.
because it's kind of a very and Vijay will relate, like when you are filling the shoes of a other developer, you need to spend a lot of time understanding the code that he or she might have like has
Right.
written for you. So because of AI,
agree.
you can just ask, hey, explain me this, because sometimes it's kind of a very tedious task to just understand and then start developing on top of it.
Agreed.
So
Agree. So sometimes we need to use AI as a senior, and sometimes we can
use other Arjun.
ask it to be an intern. Just do what
I
I'm asking for.
Yeah, until and unless you are in the driving seat, it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there are no dumb questions whenever it's with AI. So, yeah, it's amazing. So, also recently, so there was an issue with the customer I was working with, and something broke. Some index got corrupted or something, and I had no clue about what index, how is it even getting created. So, I just went to that microservice, the one
Mhm.
that was creating an index, and I did Q chat and I asked, like, how is this? What naming convention is this using while creating an index? And it gave me, and I went in my Elastic cluster and troubleshooting done. So that how efficient it had just made us. The
Yep.
people sometimes say that it has made us much more lazy, but I think it's not lazy, it's efficient. It's speeding
Yeah.
up.
Agreed. Agreed. So, like Vijay, so as I said, uh, with this AI era, everybody wants to go to the latest version of Elastic, because where
Mhm.
that's the version where you will get all
Mhm.
the AI features. So let's say I am going to do that, and I have your tool. So for
Mhm.
me, can you draw me a mind map, like if I need to go from a version, as Dhruvi said, which is end of the life cycle, I am on 7.x something version, and I
Mhm.
need to go to 9.2. So how your tool will gonna help us?
Okay, so all you need to do is like we have a startup script that you can run in your cloud by just creating a EC2 if you are on AWS. and
Mm-hmm.
run that command, it will bring the tool up and running. Just
Mm-hmm.
create your first user because we have the tool secured. So
Yeah.
it's like compliant for enterprise as well. So not everyone can access that tool.
Mm-hmm.
And then just go and add your cluster. And I think that's the part that take most of the time, adding the cluster in the tool. And once you have that, just select the target version that you want to go. Let's say you want to go from 7.x8 to 7.9. Select it from the drop down. It will immediately start all the pre-checks that it will we need to do, like manually, whether it is disk check, CPU check, loosening checks. And there are a lot of checks that the tool do out of the box. And it not only that, it will give you the breaking changes that are published by Elastic on their website. So those also get consolidated into a single UI. Verify them. If everything is fine, the upgrade button is enabled for you. Just go to upgrade button and click on upgrade all. That's all. And it will take like depending on the cluster, but you don't need to do anything manually. It will take care of like upgrading from like shutting down the node, upgrading it, restarting it. And not only that, like we used to have plugins in Node, if you remember, like, and that is something a very critical thing as well, because I have broke my cluster with pre-check, I mean plugin. So what happened, like I upgraded one node, but later I come to know that the node has a plugin installed on it, and it was not available for the version on which I have upgraded my node, and it was failing because I and I have only one option: either I remove that plugin or go back to the previous version. So that is something our tool will tell you in advance. If there is a plugin installed on your node and is not available for the target version, it will fail the pre-check. So at least you are aware of each and every problem that you might face while upgrading. So better you resolve them in upfront and do the upgrade.
True that.
Yep. And I think like self-managed cluster has never been this easy to upgrade. And
Yeah,
we would definitely like once all the licensing and all got cleared, and so we would definitely like you to have create a demo.
Yeah.
Because
sure.
I can vouch for it for all the Elastic engineers out there who has what you can say has been there and felt the pain of upgrading the self-managed cluster. And
Yeah.
if you can do it in a click, definitely we all are excited for that. It's gonna make our life very easy.
Yeah, definitely. And that's was our goal for like building this tool.
Yeah, amazing, amazing.
Yeah. Mm,
I think so yeah, we are one second. Yeah, I would like to ask you is like so can you so can you tell us who is the target audience for the tool? And also yeah, first of it, who is the target audience for your tool? So I think who is this tool for?
So this is more for like DevOps team as well. But even if there is, there are a lot of clients that have like a team where they are using Elastic but don't have a proper like Elastic engine or something who can do those upgrades for them. Even they can use the tool to do the upgrade. So I would say like for anyone like out there who don't know Elastic or like do like how to do the upgrade actually, so they can use it. And not and the tool also can help you to know the plan. Like we have recently a feature added for it, so they can go to the tool and see like what is the upgrade plan for each and every node. So they can see each and every task that we perform one by one to achieve the actual upgrade. So it will be something like they can also use it as a learning to know like what
yeah.
we need to do in an upgrade if they don't want to do even the actual upgrade using the tool.
That's a very good point.
Yeah.
And yeah, and one thing like if so I think let's say like as you shared, if, can an engineer with
Mhm.
no Elastic experience can use it to upgrade its cluster. Let's say they, because
Yeah,
there are
definitely.
companies who are using Elastic, but they don't have in-house expertise for that much of expertise for Elastic. So can they use this to
Yeah,
upgrade?
they can definitely use it.
Yep. In that case, it's kind of a very true
Yeah,
innovation.
as long as they took those pre-checks seriously. If they like, if there is some broken pre-checks and they are okay, I'm ignoring it. If they do that, then they might get into problem. They
Yeah.
just need to look those pre-checks. If they are failing, make sure, try to understand them and resolve those issues before you proceed to upgrade.
And again, question for that firewall issue. So what's like, what can you throw us more light about the privileges? If let's say I have my cluster running in some cloud, or let's say in my own servers, what kind of privileges I do need for this tool to be
Definitely.
work very
So we have a
properly?
restriction for that tool because
Mhm.
like if I ask the Elastic to give me the list of nodes using the slash node API, it will give all the nodes with private IP. And to have access to that private IP, we need to be in the same VPC. I mean, a tool should be running in the same VPC where the cluster is running.
Hmm.
So yeah, this is the only one constraint that we have for the tool, that they need to create a EC2 if they are using AWS, or Compute Engine if they are using GCP, in the
Hmm.
same VPC where their cluster is running. So it can, like communicate with the private IP of the node.
And is there any dependency on any language, like how actually
No,
this?
they need to have a Docker running on their system. If they have Docker, they just need to run a single script, and the script will take care of uh, like installing the tool and running it.
Wow. I think that would be really handy for the people who doesn't know anything about it out there.
Yeah, they don't need to worry about like installing a lot of things. They just need to run a simple script and have Docker running on their system.
Because again, yeah, of course, running a tool is one thing, and then all the pre-checks, installation is another thing. So if that is taken care, I think we are sorted for everything.
Yeah, it's like until unless you have Docker, it's good.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, just need
the
a
true
Docker
power
installer.
of Docker is there with us.
Yeah,
And one last question, Vijay, for you before we wrap it up. It's like it's kind of because like we are having this. Uh, I'm not sure like for in especially in Indian market there is a booming of this Shark Tank culture, right? So if you need to give a 1 minute elevator pitch for your tool to our audience, why
I
should they
was not
use
ready
it?
for this question at all. Uh,
So just give us like, okay, okay, this is what we have created, and this is why you should use it.
mm, I would say if you don't want to ruin your weekend, just use this tool to upgrade the tool or something like that. Uh,
Yeah, it's a nice tagline, by the way. So yeah, I think it's been fun to talk to you, and definitely we would be waiting for the demo that we have talked about once
so
everything is done.
definitely we will have a demo recorded and share with you. Or
Yeah,
even I can share you link of the tool so you can just try it yourself.
I can, but yeah, I think demo would be great because our audience will also want to see
Uh,
us. And but yeah, thank you so much for your insights, Vijay. It was fun to talk to you. And for the folks, please, if you we will try to so you can follow Vijay on LinkedIn. You can follow us on LinkedIn as well. And so we are trying to give this kind of podcast. We are trying to come up with this kind of useful in podcast with you for every week and every month. We are definitely looking forward to have more guests, more insights. But do follow us and do follow Vijay for the upcoming updates. And yeah, thank you so much for being with us.
yeah, thank
Oh,
you.
cool. Thank you so much. See, bye.